Don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. Tap the notification bell and be the first to know when we drop a new video. Like and share with your fellow American patriots who love this country. And if you haven't even an American patriot, or you're someone who believe and love freedom, love democracy, truth, and don't like corruption, hit the subscription button. Yeah, so right now you're looking at your LCD. It's showing that if you're looking for some good news, Tesla lost $330 billion in market value in 25 days. A majority of Americans, including conservatives, people who voted for Donald Trump, didn't know that the con man would con them. Only a fool believe a liar, because there's no honest liar. You understand? And I don't know how a man who was born in South Africa, pushing around 330 million American, he's not an American by birth. He's a South African. And now this man is the most powerful man in America. He is in the Oval Office having meetings with foreign dignitaries, and he's not representing the American government, he's representing himself. All because we have a corrupt system in the United States of America where the Supreme Court judges are for sale. If the Constitution was adhered to as was written, Donald Trump would not be president again. But we have 6 corrupt judges on the United States Supreme Court who disregard the law, their conscience, they're out of office, and went ahead and installed this man as king. He can break any law. And that's how we get Elon Musk, because more or less he's one of them who's funding these judges. And you know that corruption right now, we're in the gliding age where corruption is rampant in this administration. So you're looking at it, you say, if you're looking for some good news, Tesla lost $330 billion in market value. That would be great. We would like to see Tesla, it goes right down. That's all, to the drain. Yes, that would be good for the American people, because this man, Elon Musk, while celebrated for his technological ventures and wealth, represent the epitome of an individual who's evil, who was taking full advantage of the American system, amassing an unprecedented fortune, larger thanks to taxpayer dollars, government incentive, and public investment. While he presents himself as an innovator and a visionary, Musk's actions and affiliations expose a far darker side. He is not simply a business magnate. He is a part of a growing network of billionaires who exploit the very system that allowed them to thrive, while simultaneously undermine the principles that make America strong. Musk, alongside his fellow billionaire cronies, seem determined to hollow out the very country that made him wealthy, all while enriching himself and consolidating his power over technological and economic sectors that will define the future. It is critical to recognize the impact of that Musk and his empire have on the broader American landscape, from the tax subsidies that help launch his ventures to the public enthusiasm for his companies. The American people have essentially funded the rise of Musk's business empire. Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, the Boring Company, and XAI have all benefit from a combination of government contracts, subsidies, and almost fanatical following that has helped Musk reach the top of the global financial ladder. Yet the question must be asked, at what cost to the nation? While most companies soar, other sectors of American society are left to suffer. The man who has become the wealthiest person in the world is, in essence, a symbol of how rich get richer by exploiting public resources. He manipulates government-backed ventures to fund his companies and use tax incentives designed to foster innovation, which often end up padding his already overflowing pockets. Instead of reinvesting in the community Musk wealth and influence are being funneled into his personal empire. His companies grow, but the broader American public often sees very little return for their investment. The latest developments regarding Musk private companies, SpaceX, Neuralink, and Boring Company, and XAI underscore how this system of unchecked capitalist growth benefit only a select few. These companies, most notable XAI, have seen a staggering 45% increase in value since last year. Its presidential election, according to data from secondary market trading platform Caplight. Musk artificial intelligence company XAI has seen particularly rapid rise with a 100% increase in share price since November, bringing its value to nearly 96 billion. Meanwhile, SpaceX has surged by more than 50%, with only Boring Company experiencing a slight dip. Despite these soaring valuations, there is one glaring exception: Tesla, Musk's flagship public company, which has seen its stock price plummeted by around 50%. The public has begun to recognize that the promises of Tesla, the environmental revolutionary through electric vehicle, are starting to feel increasingly hollow. While its private companies continue to thrive, Tesla performance in the stock market reflects a broader public disillusionment with Musk leadership. The growing concerns about Musk's concentration of wealth and influence are compounded by the fact that his ventures remain deeply interconnected with the political landscape. Musk's ties to figures like President Donald Trump highlight the troubling relationships between Silicon Valley billionaires and political powers. The symbiotic relationship between Musk business empire and political figures hold the keys to government contracts raises serious question about the role of government in shaping the future of American innovation. Musk's influence seem expand unchecked as private companies such as SpaceX and XAI continue to enjoy massive increase in valuation without facing the same level of scrutiny that Tesla has been subjected to. The irony is palpable. Tesla, the company that was once seen as the face of clean energy and American innovation, is now the one behind as Musk's other projects continue to soar in the private market. There's a critical need for the American public to keep pressure on these companies. Tesla, despite its recent struggles, remain a symbol of our American tax base can be used to fund technologies that ultimately benefited a small group of people. The growing disconnect between the performance of Tesla and Musk, other companies, is a testament to the broader issue. The wealth created by these companies is being funneled into the pocket of the already ultra-wealthy, while working-class Americans see little return for their investments. We must hold Musk and his companies accountable. The stock market may not be kind to Tesla right now, but the private market is a different story altogether. The success of Musk's private companies and his ability to bypass public scrutiny while maintaining his financial empire illustrates a larger systemic problem. The reality is that Musk get richer, the American people are left footing the bill. If the American public allow this unchecked rise of monopolistic power, we will see more billionaires like Musk who leverage government resources to destroy the American ideal from within, further consolidating wealth and power in the hands of the few. It's time for the people to rise up and demand that Musk, Tesla, and all of his associated ventures face greater accountability. The consequences of allowing his empire to continue unchecked will be felt across every sector of society. The American people must ensure that the very system that allowed MUSK to become the richest man in the world no longer serve only the interests of billionaires, but instead support the broader population. Only through sustained pressure on companies like Tesla and continued public scrutiny will we begin to break the stranglehold of billionaire oligarchs like Musk on the future of America. Elon Musk, born in South Africa, has long been under scrutiny for his controversial actions and statements that many view as deeply racist and exploitative. His rise to prominence in the US has been nothing short of extraordinary, but it has been built upon the foundation of manipulation and deceit that has had served consequences for the American people, especially the veterans who have sacrificed so much for this country. Musk has used his vast wealth and influence to line his pocket at the expense of ordinary Americans, including veterans, the poor, and the marginalized communities. His actions cannot be overlooked, and it's high time that he is held accountable for the harm he has inflicted. Musk history is littered with instances of taking advantage of the very system that has allowed him to accumulate unimaginable wealth. He has shown little regard for the people who made his success possible, particularly the veterans who have put their lives on the line for the country. Instead of giving back to those who have given so much, Musk has continuously siphoned resources that should be benefiting these brave men and women to fuel his own empire. His exploitation of government contracts, tax breaks, and subsidies from taxpayers, many of whom are veterans or struggling working class citizens, has only furthered his wealth while leaving those who deserve it in the dust. In addition to his exploitation of American resources, Musk's track record on social issues has raised serious concerns. His behavior, both personally and professionally, has often shown a callous disregard for the very people he claims to serve. As a businessman, he has built his fortune on the backs of workers, paying them poorly, treating them unfairly, and creating an environment in which workers are disposable. Musk companies like Tesla and SpaceX have been the recipient of taxpayers' dollars, yet Musk has consistently avoided paying fair wages or providing decent working conditions for those who power his empire. Furthermore, Musk's own personal biases have often found their way into public persona. His actions and statements have shown time and time again that he holds disdain for those who are less privileged or come from marginalized communities, whether through his dismissive attitudes towards people of color, his disregard for the suffering of the working poor, or his ability to manipulate public perception with his wealth and celebrity status. Musk has demonstrated that his motivations are driven solely by self-interest and a ruthless desire for power and profit. Musk's behavior as a corporate titan should be condemned, not celebrated. His company, which benefit from the generosity of the American taxpayers, have profited immensely while contributing little back to the very people who have supported them. As the CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and other ventures, Musk has turned a blind eye to the struggle of everyday people, instead choosing to enrich himself and his inner circle of billionaire cronies. His blatant disregard for social responsibility is a testament to the greed and entitlement that have become all too prevalent in the world of big business today. But the most egregious aspect of Musk's rise to power is the harm that he has done to those who have been least able to defend themselves: the working class, the poor, the marginalized, and veterans. His unrelenting pursuit of profits have left millions of people struggling to make ends meet, while he and his peers amass unimaginable wealth. His actions have exacerbated the growing wealth divide, driving the gap between the rich and the poor even further apart. And it is the most vulnerable among us, veterans, people of color, and the economically disadvantaged who suffer the most from his insatiable greed. It is time for us to face the consequences of his actions. His empire built on exploitation and a callous disregard for the public must be dismantled. The people of this country must no longer allow him to thrive while continue to rob them blind. We must hold MUSK and his companies accountable by whatever means necessary, ensuring they never recover and that the people who have suffered under his reign are finally given justice. MUSK must be stopped. His greed and his exploitation have gone on far too long, and it's up to us, the people, to take a stand. We must push back against his empire and make it clear that no amount of wealth, power, or influence can shield him from the consequences of his actions. If history has taught us anything, it is those who rise to power through cruelty, exploitation, and greed eventually meet their downfall. We must ensure that MUSK end is one of reckoning and accountability, just as history has shown us the consequences of those who abuse their powers for personal gain. It is time to make sure that his empire crumbles to the ground like ashes in the wind and never to rise again. MUSK is the epitome of evil, and he must be stopped.